Oh, I am live. Okay. Hey, lovies. This is Love from Level Up Consulting Firm. I am trying out this live chat again. I really liked how easy it was and effective it was to post. Everything is already uploaded into the YouTube portal, and I don't have to record on my phone, upload it, create a thumbnail, upload that. So I just really like the ease of the process. So today I wanted to talk about SMART goals, and I have done a video discussing SMART goals before, but it wasn't a complete video. The focus wasn't SMART goals, and today I just wanted to do a video all about SMART goals and what they entail and the benefits of them. So SMART goals, I did look up the creators, and the creators are George Duran, Arthur Miller and James Cunningham. And I'm not sure like their background, what kind of professionals they are, but that's who developed the scale in case you would like to look them up and gather more information. But the acronym is S is for specific, M is for measurable, A is for attainable, R is for relevant, and T is for time specific. So, with a specific goal, you want to have a concrete goal in mind. So, a lot of people, when they discuss having their own business, they're like, oh, I want to own my own business, or I want to open up a restaurant. Well, what kind of business do you want to own? What kind of restaurant do you want? Where do you want the restaurant to be located? You have to know things like that. Obviously, if you're trying to start a different type of business, like something like a steakhouse, right? I wouldn't want to open a steakhouse in a certain area. I would want to make sure that it is in a place where people are able to spend money, in a place where most people in that area are not vegetarians, because if a lot of people don't eat meat, then they won't patronize my business. So you really have to do research in order to make that goal specific. But to make it simpler, I want to own a vegan restaurant in North Carolina, in Greensboro, North Carolina specifically. Okay, that's a SMART goal. Very specific. Is the goal measurable? So, are you able to keep track of this goal? When you look at the steps, are you able to decide how the staffing will be, where you are as far as the financing process, if you have to rent a building, if you don't already own the property? Do you know how much it's going to be for a contractor if you have to get it built? Different things like that. Can you make it make sense in numbers? So you would need some quantitative data, right? So make sure that your goal is measurable, that you can give it some type of substance. Oh, I need 3 years to make this dream happen because I have to get this kind of revenue, right? Next, is the goal attainable? So I think owning and operating a restaurant, that's extremely attainable. People love to eat, especially in America. We eat a lot, and that's a very attainable goal, especially if you have some capital to back you or you have excellent credit so that you're able to borrow the money that you need to get your business started. Also, an attainable goal, let's say for instance, an attainable goal would not be for me to go to a foreign country and develop a system where they can have freedom of speech. Like, that's not an attainable goal. I value my life. People have restrictions on their country, and I don't want to do that. I think that my goal should be a little less ambitious, maybe creating something here where people feel empowered to level up. Haha. So attainable. Also, make sure that your goals make sense as far as what your capabilities are as well. So, if you want to be a doctor, but you just graduated from a marketing program, that's not an attainable goal because you didn't put the steps in place to be able to do that. Does that make sense? It is attainable if you're going to write out a plan and go ahead and execute it so that you have the education and the test scores in order to be a doctor. But that wouldn't be considered an attainable goal if you don't already have that plan in mind. Does that make sense? So, if anything is confusing, please let me know because I'm trying to explain it as best as I can. Next, to make sure that it is relevant, make sure that it is relevant to you and your abilities again. And also make sure that it's relevant to the times. Like, I'm not about to go and open a juke joint. People listen to a lot of music on their phone. I'm more likely to open a club that only does silent parties and have a bar, right? And so this is very important because you want to be realistic about what your capabilities are and also what the market demands. You don't ever want to create a business that people don't want. Like, it has to be lucrative. And so, with that being said, that's where the education that I talk about all the time comes from. Like, really educate yourself, really put yourself out there to be able to meet other people, travel, expand your mind. Like, it's very empowering when you expand your mind. I'm reading two different books right now. One of them I haven't picked up in a while, but I will be looking at it today. But it's because I've been looking at the other one a lot more, and I actually really, really like it. And because the new one's smaller, I think I'm going to be done with this before I get done with the other one, but it's fine. It's fine. I'm expanding my mind, getting more knowledge, and it's very freeing, especially when you get to know the things that you don't know, because you literally don't know what you don't know until you learn it. So, good advice. Next, time based. The goal needs to have a time base to it. So, let me tell you guys about time based goals and how they can save you time. Even when I create a to do list on my phone, so I'll show you really quickly. I have the reminder. So these are my reminders. And up here, I don't have any times. However, when I need to put times there, I do it. I did that. I did that. These other three I have not done. But when I need to put times beside my goals, I do that. And the benefit of it is I don't have goals that are lingering in my phone, not being completed. And I have no idea the kind of time frame that I have to execute that goal, right? And so you have to be mindful because when you don't have a set time, it's sort of up in the air, right? You're like, okay, well, I need to do this, but it's like, but when? But if I say I need to do this in 2 weeks, that's when I can break my SMART goal down into smaller sections. So, for instance, okay, I'm a college student, so I'm just going to use a paper, for example. If I have a 10-page paper due, which is very common, maybe I do 2 pages on Monday. Then I do 2 pages on Wednesday. Then I do 2 pages on Thursday because I want to chill for the weekend and have my Friday. Then I do 2 pages on Monday again. So now I'm at 8 pages. Then I do two more pages on Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I go to the writing studio and I have them review my paper for grammatical errors. And then I take my Thursday to review it again for myself and make sure that everything is formatted correctly. And then I'm prepared to turn it in. And then maybe I can look at it one more time before I actually do turn it in to make sure that it's up to my standards because I'm very serious when it comes to papers and such, right? So then I have a full extra week because it was 2 weeks until the paper was due, right? And so that gives me a couple days to think about my final product. If there's something I need to add, let's say your professor sends out an email and says, oh, these are the trends that I've seen in the paper so far. If you have this in there, you may want to go ahead and revise it. Then you can be like, oh, thanks for the heads up. And you can be on top of the game. Or one of the things that's really important to me as well is being able to have some flexibility. Like I can't tell you how many times I've had like emergencies where I needed to hurry up and get out of town or be there for a family member, and situations worked out in my favor because I've always been on top of my work. So instead of me thinking, dang, well, if I leave, I'm not going to be able to do this, I can prioritize my family and put myself and my health first by being like, that's already done. So when I get back, I can work on it a little more, but I'm not scrambling, right? Because if I had that 10-page paper due in 2 days, maybe I can't go out of town because that 5 pages is going to take up my brain power, and I need to be able to sit down and focus. So that's been an asset to me, and I encourage everybody to stay on top of your A game, get your assignments done on time, and be diligent. So those are SMART goals. They have to be specific, measurable, attainable, relevant, and time based. And again, these strategies were developed by George Doran, that is Doran, Arthur Miller, and James Cunningham. Thank you for listening. As usual, this is Love from Level Up Consulting Firm. And if you would like to suggest a video to me or recommend anything, please do not hesitate to reach out. I would love to hear from you, and I will definitely get that video posted. Or if I even know another channel that can go more in depth on the topic than I feel like I can, someone more knowledgeable, I'll send you the link to that video. So, level up. Bye.